If you have a dimmer switch that is not working, there are a few things to consider before you install a new switch. If the switch has never worked correctly, it could be miswired, especially if it's a three-way switch. If you're not sure that yours is wired correctly, I have a video that may help you. It's called Three-Way Light Switch Wiring Troubleshooting. You can find it by clicking on the channel name, Know How Now. You can only use one dimmer switch on a three-way light circuit. The other switch has to be a three-way toggle. Do not use a dimmer switch to control a ceiling fan. There are fan speed controllers made for this purpose. The type of light bulbs have to be compatible with the switch. This switch is compatible with incandescent and halogen bulbs. If I were to put a LED bulb onto the circuit, it may not work as desired. If you're using incandescent light bulbs, add up the wattage of the light bulbs on your light fixture. The switch I'm installing is rated for 600 watts, and my light bulbs are 60 watts each, so that's only 180 watts. So this is the correct wattage for my light fixture. If possible, turn on the light connected to the switch that you want to replace. Find the appropriate breaker and turn off power. To prevent another member of the household from accidentally turning power on while you're working on it, it's a good practice to put a note at the breaker. The light should not be lit. Use a voltage tester or a multimeter to confirm that power is not present. Remove the switch from the switch box. I'll show the switch removal at a different location. The switch box for the switch that I'm replacing is too small. It's almost impossible to fit everything into the box without damaging the wiring. My next project is to install a box that is large enough to meet code. Before you pull any wiring out of the switch box, take a picture or take note of how the wires are folded into the box. After replacing the switch, it can be challenging to fit all the wires back into the box without pinching anything. This is especially true if the box is full. I'll be replacing a three-way dimmer switch because the on-off button is mechanically failing. If the old switch and the new switch have identical wiring, you just need to change it out color for color. My new switch has a ground wire and the old one doesn't, and I'll show you a little later on in the video on how to deal with the ground wire. If the new switch is not exactly like the old switch, then the most important thing to do is to determine which wire is the common or the hot wire. I know that this black wire is the hot wire or the common wire. A three-way switch will have three terminals. Most of them will have a black terminal. That's this one on the drawing. And the hot wire from the breaker or the hot wire that goes to the light fixture are connected to this black screw. There'll be two other terminals which should be gold. How the switch works is the hot is switched back and forth between the two gold terminals as you flip the switch back and forth. If your switch has leads on it, you'll know the green wire goes to ground. And if we apply a little common sense, this switch has one black wire, which should be the hot or the common, and then it has two other wires that are the same color, which would correlate to the two gold color terminals on a typical three-way switch. The two wires that are connected to the gold terminals are called travelers, and it doesn't matter how you connect those two, you can switch them around. The critical thing is to have your hot wire on the common terminal of the switch that you're installing. Since I've identified that the black is my hot wire and the white and the red are my travelers, I can disconnect the switch from the circuit. Making good splices is important. A loose connection can get hot and eventually cause a fire. To make a good splice, you'll need to have the correct size wire nuts. This manufacturer of the switch supplied wire nuts with them, and they're probably figuring that you're going to splice this number 16 wire with a number 14 wire. To make the splice, if you have stranded wire and solid wire, put both wires together, lead the stranded wire ahead of the solid wire, maybe about 1/8 of an inch. Take the wire nut and turn it clockwise until the wires start to twist around each other. And then, to make sure you have a good connection, you should be able to pull on both of them and the wire nut should not come off. If your switch has terminals, you'll need a shepherd's hook. Place the shepherd's hook under the terminal, and you want to turn the screw clockwise in the direction of the end of the shepherd's hook. If both the new and old switch have a ground wire, reconnect the ground wire as it previously was installed. If you don't have a ground wire, then the current version of the National Electric Code allows you to remove the ground wire and not connect it. The only condition is that your wall plate must be non-metallic. Carefully fold the wires back into the box and secure the new switch. Take care not to pinch any of the wires inside of the box. You could ground them out. Restore power. I hope you found this video helpful. A thumbs up is always appreciated. Click on the channel name Know How Now to find other videos. And thanks for watching.